Welcome to Deep Thought, Style versus Substance. Y'all notice like when I'm about to get into something, I give a little laugh, kind of like that diabolical laughter when, the villain tells the hero how he's going to conquer the world, right? Yeah, which in itself is dumb. It's like villains always got to like explain the plan to the hero. The villain should just kill him. It's just like, look, just put one in his head real quick. Shoot, why are you gonna wait? Anyway, this ain't about that. That'll be another deep thought video. But anyway, style versus substance. You know what? I'm gonna give y'all an example. Not so much a story, but an example. Right? There's every now and then, for whatever reason, I might come across a church service or something, right? And like recently I came across a church service for this little church. It's just starting out, right? But I can already tell it won't get maybe any larger than 100 members, even if it's around 5 years. Just looking at the ministers of this particular church, right? I'll say it ain't gonna go beyond. It ain't gonna get any bigger. It's gonna basically be a storefront church. Not to say anything is inherently wrong with that, but let's be real. Ministers want to grow their congregations. It's more money, more influence. They can get a Mercedes and all of that. Yeah, I'm being cynical. Anyway, right? Here's the reason. And, though it's hard for me to judge other men, I can still any man can get an idea. I can definitely judge the women, and they got a few ministers, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, it's not an attractive group of people, right? It really ain't. They average looking, right? And people say, well, what does that matter? Let me hit y'all with a little secret. In some seminaries, there's some seminaries that actually teach this, that if a minister wants to grow a large congregation, get a large church or something, they need to be physically attractive. They need to be handsome, like above average handsome. And if you take an honest look, with the exception of somebody like T.D. Jakes or something, he look like an average dude. But you get a lot of ministers, they look like they could be models. Especially, I used to see this in the D.C. area with some ministers who get fairly large churches. You'd be looking at them like, dang. In fact, I remember when I first started selling my book, Nice Guys and Players, I sold it at Expo. There was a group of ministers there. They were among my first customers. And these dudes were looking sharp. I mean, they were looking sharp. If you look at some of these ministers, I hate to do it, but they be looking like sharper than some pimps. But see, pimps get mad at me when I compare preachers to pimps. I had one look me in the eye and say, don't insult pimps like that. But no, it's the style. See, understand something. Let's get back to it. In fact, I'm going to tell you what. And I told someone this. If people want to get Trump out of office, the person need to look good on Instagram. Like physically good. Like probably need to look like the Prime Minister of Canada. Because, dude look like one of those dudes who, could do a fashion portfolio. Because we live in a culture now that value style over actual substance. It's all the way around. It's like what looks good. See, when people value style over substance, they feel like if it looks good, it has value. And that's why some ministers in some seminaries, they teach the ministers, hey, you need to look good. They probably need to hit the gym or anything. Now, this ain't meaning that they actually bring in any spiritual edification or anything, or, really helping somebody. I mean, really, you can get somebody who's very average looking, even homely, but can give like the best wisdom and like really elevate somebody spiritually. But this is not the culture for it. And, usually if you have that situation where people are, they'll still follow that person anyway, usually it doesn't grow beyond a certain point, because people are looking at the style, they're looking at how it looks, right? In one of my 1,000 jobs, I told you I worked as a merchandiser. It was a big deal. It was probably in a position more important than what the salespeople were doing, just making something look good, right? Because it didn't have anything to do with the quality of the clothes or something, or like one has some real good quality, it doesn't stain easily, it would wash good, it actually is functional, it probably lasts longer, and it was all about how it looked instead of the substance. So a lot of times you could do that, and people do that now if you think about it, right? If you think about it, like even on YouTube, right? I'm gonna tell you what. For a YouTube content creator to look good, to really pick up, one, they gotta show their face, right? One, they gotta show their face. Two, they gotta look good. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. You gotta look good. If you don't look good, you better have some hellified charisma, something, right? Now you got a few who can make it up there with just on substance, or personality or something. But for the most part, I mean, let's be real. There's some YouTubers who got like big followings, and let's be real. If they looked average, they wouldn't have big followings. They really would, especially a lot of male YouTubers. Especially if they got like a significant female following, it wouldn't happen. But what are they saying? Are they giving anything of substance? And that's the funny thing, just going through life. And it really is just the culture. The culture is very surface orientated. I mean, just the very nature of it. I mean, when we talk about racial issues or something like that, that's surface. It don't speak to the content of someone's character. It don't speak. I mean, what does the outer have to do with the inner? The outer can look real good. In fact, that's why you get some of the biggest con artists, people trying to get over, actually very physically attractive. And some of the worst people, narcissistic, everything. But they get over because people put so much into the style and not the substance. Now, style is important because I teach having some style about you. But you can't get past the substance. Okay, what are they really saying? And a lot of people do that. Think about it. A lot of people do that. I mean, how many people get like that late model Lexus, right? Which is really just a souped up Toyota. Right? Probably the same thing, but one looks more stylish. People will get that, pay extra money, but the other one might be good. Like a good economy car is probably just as fast. Well, really, you can only go so fast on the highway any damn way, but it's just as good. Like me, let me tell you what. See, I'm a substance person when it comes to a car. I love my Chevy. I love my Chevy. Only thing I've had, and I bought it used with high mileage on it, and the only thing, I haven't had to fix anything out of the way yet. It's just regular maintenance. Just regular maintenance. Especially like I said, the car started off high mileage, right? But it was the substance of the car, right? So, and that's something to think about. Seriously, that's something to think about. Why you go to this particular church? Why you like that particular team? Or what is it? There's a lot of style, even in... Sometimes even in sports. Some of the best players might not get drafted because they might not have a style, but they keep doing stuff. They make a team anyway, and people will say, how do you make the team? Because they keep doing the job. He make the plays. Right? And that's in everything. I mean, yeah, the style draws us in, but sometimes it draws us in too much. We have to examine, is there substance behind the outer appearance? But sometimes people don't get past the outer appearance. Like I said, if you think about it, right? What did I just say on here? I just said you have seminaries that teach this about the style, about the looks and everything. And like I said, I made the prediction. If people want Donald Trump out of office, the Democrats better run somebody who looks good. I guarantee. I guarantee you get somebody like about in their 40s, not an old person. No disrespect to Bernie Sanders, or Biden or anybody else. But trust me, in the age of social media or something, they gotta look a certain way. I don't care what they say. If you want them out, and trust me, this is something. And the style thing is something some people have always known. Like Hollywood has used it, right? That's how they make money. If you really think about it, if you really understand the craft, a character actor will blow away like some of these superstars in movies. Let me say that again, because if you look at all these superstars in movies, and people say how good they are, do this, a lot of times they play the same role in every damn movie. But you get a good character actor that can switch up, do different things, boom, they got the substance. But Hollywood in the 20s, or when they first started doing talking movies, they figured, I think it was the 30s, they said, you know what, more people will come if the people on screen look good. Even if they couldn't act. Shit, even Marilyn Monroe, she made her money looking good, but she actually wanted to be taken more seriously. So that made me think of something else, personal thing. Anyway, that'll be it. That'll be it for today. So think on what I'm saying. Peace and blessings.